Hey everybody, this is Pastor Brian Riddell Nicholson. I just wanted to take a moment to encourage people today. I just finished cutting the grass. It's beautiful out here today, and figured I'd sit in the shade and enjoy the breeze. Yeah. Anyhow, I just wanted to encourage y'all. I was talking to a brother earlier today who was mentioning to me about a weakness that he's pretty much had all of his adult life. And he just doesn't know at this point how to function without this weakness. And he said he'll just be glad when God takes it away completely. But I sat and thought about it, and we just kind of talked, and I said, yeah, that's kind of tough, brother. But then I thought about it, and I said, man, God can take it away. But the question is, what are you going to do? There's a responsibility that if we believe God, then we are driven to action. What steps are you going to take to try to do something about it if you believe that God is able to change this situation in your life? And I think that many of us get caught up right there. We know that God said something, and we say we believe it, but we become paralyzed, and we are not people of action. We don't do any work towards the thing that we say God is leading us to do. For instance, if God called you to start a business, you say God said that you're going to be a millionaire. God says you're going to do this, you're going to do that. But then you do no work towards that. How many of you know faith without works is dead? It's important for you to put action to what you believe. And the favor comes when you respond, when you do something, when you act on what you believe. Now, there are those situations where you may not be able to put the action to something for yourself. You may be impaired, may not have the understanding, and it might be beyond your reach to get the knowledge on your own. And so God will send a partner. God will send someone to help you out. They can put the action to what it is that you believe, and He has put them there for that purpose in that season. But then there's the divine faith where God just moves, and it doesn't require your action, anyone else's, or even your faith. God Himself believes, and therefore He moves. But normally that's in extreme ill conditions or in even death itself. But the truth of the matter is that there's always action associated with belief. So, in our churches, at Lifeline for Jesus Community Church and at Jerusalem Baptist, I teach that there are three different types of faith that we can rest on. One is solo faith, such as the woman with the issue of blood, who said within herself, if I may but touch the hem of His garment, I shall be made whole. And as a result of what it was that she believed, she began to step out and press through the crowd, risking her very life, because she could have been stoned to death as an unclean person touching the clean. They could have stoned her, but she pressed through anyhow, touched the hem of Jesus's garment. And you know the story. As a result of it, she was made whole. Because she became that person of action. If she hadn't taken the action, no matter how much she claimed to believe, she would not have received the breakthrough that she was looking for. Secondly, there is partnered faith. When you cannot do for yourself and God sends a partner along. The story that I use every time I talk about this is the man that was bound to his bed, and he couldn't take himself into the presence of Jesus. And so his friends took him and his bed to Jesus, only to find that there was a hindrance. The people had surrounded Jesus so much that they couldn't find a way through, and the man couldn't get up and press his way through the crowd. So his friends took him onto the rooftop and began to dig a hole in somebody's roof. I don't know whose roof it was, but they dug a hole in the roof and then lowered the man down into the presence of Jesus that he might receive his healing. And as a result, he did. This man believed, but it was them that put the action to it. But then there's the last, and that is the divine faith. Divine faith is when God doesn't need anybody to do anything at all. He believes, therefore He moves. We find that He did that in creation, as well as in the case of Lazarus. Lazarus was dead, so we know it wasn't his faith. We know it wasn't his sister's faith, because she said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And she was saying, it's too late now. His body stinks and he's already going into corruption. But then Jesus turns around, because He knows what He can do. he acts on what he believes about his own ability. And he says, roll away the stone. And so they roll away the stone, and then he speaks based on what he believes. And he says, Lazarus, come forth. And so Lazarus comes out of the grave, y'all. You know, he gets up from the dead. So I say all this to say that there's a solo faith, partner faith, and divine faith. But the best one for us, as we have ability within our lives, is solo faith. Is consider what it is that God has spoken, considering what it is that he's already done even in the lives of other people, and resolve within yourself that God is no respecter of persons, and what he's done for someone else, he'll do the exact same thing for you. And when you can grasp that in your spirit and you believe it, then you begin to walk forth. You say, well, how do I walk forth? How do I operate in my faith? If God says that that he'll heal you, find those healing scriptures and get them in your spirit, and get yourself encouraged in the word of the Lord, and then go out and make a grocery list. Make a grocery list of the proper foods that you should eat. These days, it's a lot easier. You can Google foods that are good for the condition that you're dealing with, and God will favor you and allow you to have the ingredients that you need. And it can be a slow healing, and in some cases, God may do something miraculous instantly. However, he wants to do it. He's God. He can do it in whichever way, but he wants you to exercise your faith. So I just wanted to drop that little nugget on you. I don't even think that I explained everything so well, but this is definitely on my heart just to encourage people. And so I wanted to go free floater, no notes, or anything like that. Just go from the heart. So anyhow, see yourself as a victor, because God said so, and begin to act like it. Begin to take authority in your life. You're not a wimp. If you know who you are in him, then you're more likely to move with a confidence. And as you move in confidence and trust in him, then know that he will surely move on your behalf. So all praises be to Yahuwah and his son Yahushua HaMashiach, commonly known as God and Jesus Christ. But may his peace overtake you, and may his favor rest in your life. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. I love you, and stay encouraged.